give you a lift. So I can help you up to the top. There you go. These are the duck-billed snails.
Thank you for helping us.
No problem, ma'am. It's the most responsible thing I can do. Back in the old days, these dinosaur skulls used to be articulate. They used to move. They used to, their jaws used to open wide and often close on contact. Why is that, though? Why is that even possible? Why did they stop? I don't know. Maybe they were saving power? Touched it. This is the evolutionary chain for Protoceratops. Excuse me. Okay. Now this one, it's everyone's favorite. These are Protoceratops. They used to live in what is now called the Gobi Desert. They used to, and they still protect their hatchlings from predators. They are one of the most popular dinosaurs in the old days. I consider these dinos to be one of my favorites. I can name the top four: Dilophosaurus, Scutosaurus, Dimetrodon, and of course even Protoceratops, Triceratops. You know that stuff. There's the end. Here we have the Tenontosaurus, one of my favorite duck-billed dinosaurs. There's a reason why Tenontosaurus is one of the best. And, well, it has a defense mechanism, also known as the tail. It often swings its tail back against predators. And, well, if you get in too close to it, wham! You're whacked and smacked. I love it, man.
She's like, she goes, I don't.
There's only one last dino we need to find. There we have the Stegosaurus. That thing on its tail is called a thagomizer. It's what it's used to defend itself. And if that didn't work, they'd often shove its plates filled with blood and shine it red as a warning. I don't really understand why they don't have ankylosaurid skeletons here, but they have this Edmontonia skeleton here. They often use it to understand that these social animals, well, it represents what ankylosaurs used to look like in the old days. And, well, they don't exactly have the full skeleton. Instead, they have this small piece of it. I'm glad they have the upper half. The museum, it's a place for me to understand and to believe that there's still hope. That the universe, it always finds a way. Life finds a way. Everything finds a way. That's why I love this city so much.
Sauropods are members of the group of animals circled in blue. All of these animals evolved from a common ancestor with inset tooth rows that formed its cheeks. Huayangosaurus is a member of the group of animals circled in blue. All of these animals evolved from a common ancestor with vertical plates or spines down the back. Panoplosaurus is a member of the group of animals circled in blue. All of these animals evolved from a common ancestor with a more extensive secondary palate. Edmontonia is a member of the group of animals circled in blue. All of these animals evolved from a common ancestor with a more extensive secondary. Ankylosaurus is a member of the group of animals circled in blue. All of these animals evolved from a common ancestor with very large bony horns. Chamosaurus is a member of the group of animals circled in blue. All of these animals evolved from a common ancestor.
Pachycephalosaurid.
You feel it? Yeah.
Yes, I just.
All right, so grip.
There's Stegosaurus.
Okay. So this is a string that goes past my wrist. If I want to move this finger, I pull on this string up here. Pull, pull. And if you press down on your palm, you can feel another one. Maybe if you feel it.
Excuse me, sir? What can you tell me about this Pachycephalosaurus skull?
I can tell you a little bit if you just give me a few minutes. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's alright.
All right, thank you.
This is the evolution from the Protoceratops skeleton line. Well, it represents what it looks like as a hatchling and to what it really looks like as an adult. Or at least that's what I think it is. It's very interesting. I love it. I love it. I still need to explain from this one guy about the Pachycephalosaurid skeleton.
So,
Is it okay if I touch that?
yes, yes, absolutely.
It's beautiful. Touching
It's
a dinosaur claw?
Well, it's plastic, but it is the claw from a Deinonychus, like Velociraptor.
I feel like I've stepped in heaven.
Well, I'm glad you came today. That's wonderful.
Now then, will you please explain about this skull, please, sir?
Very well. Well,
Now then, sir,
very well.
can you tell me more about this skull?
Sure. So, this is the real thing.
Yes.
So that's an actual fossil. And the darker parts here are the actual skull of the Pachycephalosaurus. And it's as big as a bowling ball.
Is that what its brain looked like?
That's what we're doing here, is we're telling folks that the brain is not very large, but it's got a very large skull. So that's very strange. Why do you have a big head and not a big brain? And so what we're talking about here is maybe it has something to do with fighting each other. Maybe it has something to do with fighting for territory, fighting for mates, or whatever. Because there are modern animals that butt heads also.
Maybe they rely on defending themselves so many times that they don't really have time to learn more about their surroundings, like intelligence. To learn to understand from their own intelligence.
Right. So intelligence is hard. So it's not a very big brain, but it's big enough for this animal. Do you know how I know it's big enough for this animal? Because it exists.
Because they're self-aware.
No, because I know they can survive.
Okay then, that makes sense.
Because we found them, and we found them with that big a brain, and so that's enough for me to say that that brain is just the right size for this animal.
Anything else you wanted to add?
No.
Can you tell me about the Protoceratops over there?
Sure. So what we see is evidence of nesting behavior, where the animal lays an egg, and maybe they are taking care of the eggs. Maybe they are not just laying them and running away. Maybe they are taking care of the eggs, and maybe they can take care of the youngsters also.
Is that the evolution span for those creatures?
It is a growth series. So what you see is a baby all the way to old age.
I see it.
Do you have a favorite thing you saw today?
Yes.
What is that?
An old friend of mine,
Ah,
a prehistoric animal known as Scutosaurus.
which one?
Scutosaurus.
Scutosaurus. Which one is that?
It's a bit 2 exhibitions back that way.
Oh, okay. So what does it look like?
Well, it doesn't look like much, but basically it's the same creature I saw in Walking with Monsters.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So it was an animal you recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is there a new one that you saw that you really like?
Well, the Titanosaur is the most recent one that I've become to liking,
Yeah. Yeah, it's big, isn't it?
and one of the. And well, why would they replace that Barosaurus model?
Which one?
The one that used to be in the theater?
Oh, so right, there was a juvenile. And so the reason, well, they wanted to make room for the big one, but that one was a bit of a problem because you're right, it was labeled Barosaurus, but it found out it's not really a Barosaurus. It's Catacosaurus. I have to look at it every time, I forget the name. But it's a similar animal, but it's not a baby Barosaurus. So we actually got that wrong.
What was it then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like KAAT something. I don't have it memorized properly.
Where do they have the model now?
I don't know. It's not on display. But the neck, there's a neck on display, and that's the neck that the model was based on. And so you can see the neck, and the neck is labeled with the new name on it.
Okay then. I think they'll one day take it out of storage and possibly place it where the boat is. You know, the one that's on the bottom of this museum.
On the moat?
Yeah, the one near, you know, the exhibition with the giant boats,
Oh.
where they do,
Oh, the
where
boats.
they show the live animals.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So we don't have a lot of live animals. We don't have any on display right now.